Hello again from my couch and with my green smoothie and of course my white tea. So as you can guess from the title, today I'm filming my second trimester recap. I did one for my first trimester, so I wanted to do another one for my second trimester. So today I actually turned 28 weeks, which is third trimester. I can't believe I'm already in my third trimester. It's like the home stretch and time has just been flowing by very fast. So let me show you my bump. Okay, so here's the bump. Yes, this is my 28 week, I guess 27 week because I just started my 28 week bump. And I have my trusty notebook here where, of course, I took notes and things that I want to talk about and share to recap my second trimester. So let's get back on the comfy couch. So I guess overall, my second trimester, I would say it's a lot better than my first trimester. Getting my energy back, not as much nausea, I can eat everything. I'm gonna start off by talking about what appointments I had. So I had a couple of like general just checkup appointments where they do your vitals, measure your belly, listen to the baby's heartbeat. And then of course, second trimester, we get to find out the sex of the baby. So we got to do a detailed ultrasound for like your anatomy scan. And yeah, that was like a really fun and exciting day. I was actually in there for quite a while because baby just couldn't sit still, or sit, but like stay still in my belly. So it was really hard for them to get all the pictures they needed to make sure everything is going well. They did like another test for like Down syndrome and all of that, and everything was good. Baby was measuring like on time, like as they should. And then yeah, we found out we were having a baby boy, so we're pretty excited to get to meet him in a couple more months now. I also did my glucose blood test, which is where they make you drink like a really sugary drink and kind of see if you are at risk for, what is it called? Gestational diabetes. So thankfully I'm all cleared. Everything's, I don't have gestational diabetes. I don't know, the pregnancy has been going well so far. Like everything's healthy. I don't have any, alarming things that they need to watch out for. And yeah, so now I'm going to talk about all of my symptoms. I have like a huge list of like kind of more changes that were happening throughout my body. So I guess for things first that I have here is in the beginning of my second trimester, I started feeling like my belly was getting like really like itchy, and it's kind of like a spidery feeling. It's really hard to explain, but it just basically feels like little bugs are like crawling all over your belly. I didn't really feel any kicks at that time, but like more like flutters. But then later on during my second trimester, I did start feeling some kicks and movements, which was like just so exciting. I think I was feeling the most kicking when I was in New Mexico, Albuquerque for my work trip, and I was trying to go to bed, and that's when I started feeling like a lot of kicks. I'm gonna have to insert which week I was, or like where I was during the pregnancy, because I can't remember. I need to like look back. But yeah, I'm starting to feel more like kicks and movements, especially when I'm like sitting very still or like just at work, and then suddenly you feel like a little kick, and then I like kind of sometimes like flinch. So sometimes during like meetings, I'm like in a meeting and I like somehow like flinch and my face turns. And especially at night when I'm trying to go to bed, baby just loves to wake up. But I heard that's normal because during the day you're kind of like moving around, and that's really comforting for the baby when, it's like kind of like in a cradle when you're walking around and moving. But when you're sitting still, they're kind of like, what's happening? So I wonder if baby's gonna do a little bit of a kick during this video, but I'll point it out when he does. As I mentioned in my first trimester recap video, my nausea was really bad, and it still continues to be bad. I mean, I'm still getting nausea, and I'm finding that it's just really, really random. It was really hard to pinpoint what the trigger is. It usually happens at night, like kind of like around after dinner, bedtime almost. I'll just feel really kind of like discomfort and needing to throw up before bed. And yeah, once I throw up, I'm like all good. But that is still not fun. I have an appointment on Tuesday, so I'm gonna talk to my doctor and kind of see, I don't know, should I start going back on my meds again? I really don't know, but I'm still wondering if it's like dairy or like maybe heat. Because I know one time I was feeling really hot and then I felt sick that I need to throw up. So I'm still getting nausea. Speaking of nausea, I guess food and nausea kind of go hand in hand, I think. But I'm no longer getting repulsed by certain foods. I know my first trimester I was really sensitive to like red meats or like eggs, just like disgusted me in my first trimester. But in my second trimester I'm like not repulsed by foods at all. I've like been loving eggs. Just gotta make sure it's like fully cooked, of course. But yeah, I eat eggs like so much right now. Like I'm just going through so many eggs. I don't have any serious food cravings yet. I do really enjoy like, I don't know, anything savory, salty is what baby wants and what I'm gonna give baby. I feel like pregnancy is hard enough. Like don't stress about trying to like, you know, eat certain things or make sure you're on a strict diet. Just make sure you're eating. And that's all that really matters. Like some days I feel bad like, oh, I'm eating all this junk food, but honestly like it's still food that you're getting into your body. And there's some days I do actually crave like salads and like something really fresh and refreshing. I've been eating a lot of fruits, especially watermelon with chamoy and tahini, so that kind of has been my go-to like fruit craving, I think, in the summer. Of course, my green smoothies and just things like that. Like, I don't know, something about a fresh like salad with like a vinaigrette is really satisfying. Anything tart. Lemonade has been my go-to like cocktail drink that I would order. So there's that. I am getting energy back, but I find that I'm still needing some naps. Like kind of when the afternoon or evening hits, I start getting really sleepy and tired and need like a little caffeine kick or like a little power nap. But for the most part during the day, I'm totally fine. I'm not like sleepy during work or anything like that. Oh, but in terms of naps, I'm sure if you may have heard this from your pregnant friends or like just in general, but pregnancy naps hit differently. Let me tell you, they're just like on another level. Like pretend you're taking a nap and you know when you're like stuck in your dream, but you know you're in a dream that you need to wake up. That happens a lot for me. Like I'm like trying to wake up in my dream, but I can't wake up. And then when you finally wake up, you're like, that was really weird. Oh, sorry, going back to nausea. I kind of have like my list here, but they're not in any particular order. When I was on the plane going to New Mexico, I did talk a little bit about this during my travel vlog, but my nausea was horrible. Like taking off and landing, I threw up both times, which is not fun. I'm actually heading home to Vancouver in a couple of weeks and I'm kind of a little bit nervous for that, but I'm going to be more prepared this time. I bought some ginger candies, I bought some ginger chews, I got my Dramamine ready, I'm going to bring some bags, make sure I have food in me. I'm prepared for this flight, so I'll let you know what happens and see how that goes. I also have some like random little symptoms here that I've noticed, like the butt bone hurts. It's like this little bone. I think it's called the coccyx, your tailbone. I've noticed that I kind of have like discomfort in that area, and I looked it up and it is a pregnancy symptom because your uterus is stretching and kind of like moving. So all the changes around there. I know a lot of people have really bad back pains, so I haven't had that yet. I mean, I typically do get like have a sore lower back and things like that just because of like my poor posture and sitting a lot at work. So I'm trying to like take a little bit more breaks at work and stuff like that, like get up from my chair and do a little bit of like a stretch or a walk around, to like alleviate that pain. I also got like an exercise ball from like a neighbor, so that was really nice. So that's kind of been helping to like, you know, do a little like rolls and stretches. I also noticed during my second trimester that I'm finally gaining weight. So every time I do like a general checkup, they weigh you, and I also have a scale at home, and I'm just like curious, like how much do I weigh now? So I gained about 5 pounds. Actually, I haven't weighed myself in a while, so I'm curious if that's a little bit more now. I'll put it in like my little description if I gained a little bit more than 5 pounds, but about 5 pounds. Probably gonna start gaining more weight during my third trimester, of course. I'm starting to feel very like gassy, a lot of heartburn. Oh gosh, there was just one night my heartburn was so bad I like could not sleep. I took Tums, I like drank some water. I don't know what else I did, but it was a horrible night. But since then I haven't had any like extreme heartburn cases. And the doctor says just to take Tums, and there was another one she said, so I have to ask her because I kind of forgot. But so far I haven't had any more heartburn from that. One thing I do want to mention is make sure you go to the dentist, because during pregnancy your teeth and gums are a little bit more susceptible to like infections and things like that because of your body's getting your body's taking all of the other nutrients. I don't know if I'm describing this correctly, but basically when you're pregnant, make sure you go to the dentist and do a checkup to make sure everything's good, you know, with your dental hygiene. I am getting a little bit more discharge, which is normal, of course. And my temperature has obviously been higher. If anyone knows me very well, they know I'm always really cold. I always bring a cardigan with me. I'm always that person who needs to bring something just to like put over my arms, just because I get like really cold really easily. But yeah, I've been needing the AC on all the time, and I can't stand heat. Like when I go outside to take Lucy out, it's just too hot. So yeah, I've been really sensitive to like the heat. There was one day at work, I think I messed this up, but it's kind of a funny story because I don't think the AC in my particular office has been like working, so I kind of like wanted to put in a request for building facilities to come take a look, because it was just getting really like stuffy in my office, and obviously like because I'm pregnant I'm like at a higher temperature. So the guy came, take a look at it, and then apparently the next day everyone's office, or like that whole side of the building, was just really hot, and I was like, oh shit, was that me? Like, did I trigger that? But I think now they finally got it fixed, and it's a little bit more, you know, bearable in our offices. What else do I have? I guess kind of starting near the end of my second trimester, actually in the past couple of weeks, I've noticed that I'm starting to feel a lot of like tightness in my like chest, and I guess just tightness everywhere. I think this is just because your body's growing and making space for baby. Like your organs kind of get squished up and things like that when your body's growing. So with that, I'm starting to feel also very like uncomfortable at night, trying to find like a really great position. I am using my pregnancy pillow again. I took it back from Lucy because I was like, Lucy, I kind of need my pregnancy pillow back, because I don't know if you saw in another clip, but she was kind of using it as a bed. Spoiled little girl. But yeah, I need to talk to my doctor about that, or I'm going to mention it, that it's been kind of uncomfortable to sleep, and kind of what recommendations they have. I'm also starting to notice that I get that line in like on your belly. It's like the faintest little line, but you can see it starts kind of like at your uterus maybe, and goes all the way up. Mine just kind of goes to my belly button right now, and it's very faint, but I notice it there. So there's that. I obviously, now that I'm growing, there's like less and less that fits in my closet. I mentioned this in like a lot of my other pregnancy videos that I still haven't bought maternity clothes, but I did recently buy maternity jeans just because I am going to Vancouver in a couple weeks and I'm not sure how the weather's like. I thought it would be good to have a pair of pants to wear because I know the temperature is a little bit cooler than San Diego, so I don't know if I can get by wearing dresses every day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I kind of went through that a little bit quickly, but I know I talked in a little bit more depth in like in some of my other videos, so you can go always goes back and watch like the in-depth vlogs. But yeah, I can't believe I'm in my 3rd trimester. I feel like from now until, you know, the end of pregnancy, there's gonna be a lot of changes that happen very quickly, probably like daily even, or weekly. I'm just gonna be like growing. My coworkers are obviously the ones who see me the most, and family, but they always just joke around how like my belly's so small, it's so cute, and it's just crazy to me that I'm like kind of near the end and I'm still having like a little tiny belly. So I'm curious to see how big I actually get, because I am pretty petite. I'm only 5 feet. So maybe baby will also be quite small. I don't know. Oh, I also wanted to mention that I started getting a lot of baby clothes ready. I was graciously gifted a lot of baby clothes from like neighbors around the area. So I washed them, put them in like kind of storage bins and organized them all by size. I only have a handful of newborn clothing pieces right now, so I'm not sure if I should go out and buy like just another more set just to have. It's really hard to tell because you don't know how big your baby is. But I'm pretty set on the 0 to 3 months age, so we shall see. I honestly don't want to buy too much clothing because I know how fast the baby grows, and I kind of rather get like nicer pieces once you're a little bit older and can wear them for a bit longer. But for the most part, we're just waiting for dad to come home at the end of September, and we're gonna be busy for the rest of, you know, the time in October trying to prep for the baby. we kind of have an idea of like what we need to buy and what we need to get, but I'm just waiting for him to get back because I know he really wants to be part of the process as well. So yes.